The table is set. Monday's Thursday will be an important time here at Zion Lutheran. We have a group of disciples and Jesus reenacting the Last Supper for the congregation, for a number of kids who are receiving their first communion. It will be a meaningful time. In our devotion today, Jesus asked his disciples after he washed their feet, he said, "Do you know what I've done for you?" And when Jesus asked a question like that, the presumptive answer is no, they don't know what he's doing for them. But what he was doing for them was confirmed at the time of the resurrection when Jesus rose from the dead. I find it fascinating that in the post-resurrection appearances of Jesus, neither the disciples on the road to Emmaus in Luke 24 or Mary, the other disciples, they didn't recognize Jesus with them. Neither on the road from Jerusalem to Emmaus nor at the empty tomb. What happened, though, was when they did recognize him, when their eyes were opened, they looked back, they reflected, they had hindsight, 20/20 hindsight, and they recognized that Jesus had been with them every step of the way. I want to mention two things on this Maundy Thursday, noting that in retrospect they saw that Jesus had been with them all along. First, when Jesus appeared to Mary at the empty tomb, which is what I reference in the devotion, Mary did not recognize him because of the weeping and wailing, the extreme grief that she was under, the shaking. I mean, you probably have seen or have experienced that kind of weeping. Mary's tears were expected, but for the risen Jesus, it was kind of a sense of Jesus being perplexed. "Mary, I'm here. Why are you weeping? Didn't I tell you this was going to happen? Did you miss the chalk talk on that?" This is exactly the way that I had said, but Mary was weeping to the point that she didn't recognize him. So he says, "Whom are you looking for?" Supposing him to be the gardener. But then Jesus spoke her name, and as in the devotion yesterday, then her eyes were open and he saw Jesus, and when he spoke her name. Now, notice the reference to the tomb as a second point in the devotion. The stone was rolled away. We sometimes read on Sunday morning, but the stone wasn't rolled away. It was thrown aside. It was cast utterly away. It's not as if the guards just kind of went up and rolled the stone away in a nice, quiet kind of way. It was removed. It was cast aside. It was thrown to the wayside. It wasn't simply rolled away. Rather, it was the power of God. And when that stone was rolled aside, it was done so for a particular purpose. The stone was removed, not so much so that Jesus could get out. In the Gospel of John, we read twice how the disciples were in an upper room locked for fear of what might happen to them. I don't know how, but somehow Jesus was not there, and all of a sudden he was there. Whether he walked through the doors, who knows how it happened, but the locked doors, were not able to keep Jesus out. You have to presume that the stone was not rolled away to let Jesus out. If he could have walked through those doors, he could have gotten away somehow around or through that stone at the front of his tomb. Rather, the stone was not thrown aside, cast aside to let Jesus out. It was cast aside to let us in. Just think about that this Maundy Thursday as you receive communion, as you recall how Jesus, as he gathered his disciples, took bread and broke it. He took the wine, he gave it to them. He said, "This is my body. This is my blood given and shed for you." It's for you. And the Easter proclamation, one of the distinctive characteristics of it is that the stone was rolled aside for you. It's not just Jesus leaving an empty tomb behind him. Rather, it's for you, it's for us The stone was rolled aside to let you in. It's for you. So also with the bread and the wine. With the bread and the wine, the body and blood of Jesus, given and shed for you. The stone rolled aside, thrown aside, to show the power of God, so that Jesus is there for you. Not just in the hush and quiet of maybe an emotional Maundy, Thursday service that you'll be experiencing at your church tonight, but rather on your road, on your journey from Jerusalem to Emmaus, on your journey through life and all the detours that it might bring. It's for you. Jesus walking alongside you, with you, even though you don't recognize him, seeing him in retrospect and realizing he's been there all along. He's been there all along. All of this is for you, for your forgiveness, for the love of Jesus, for you. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow.